Hello again. Welcome back to Deep Dive into History. Today we will be taking a closer look at the life of the founder and first great Khan of the Mongol Empire. This is everything you need to know about Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, also known as Temujin, grew up in a tribal society in the steppes of Central Asia, now Mongolia. His father, Yesekai, was a leader of the Kiad tribe, but he died when Temujin was young. Following his father's death, Temujin and his family were left in a vulnerable position, and they were forced to live a difficult life as outcasts. Despite these challenges, Temujin was able to survive and eventually became a skilled warrior and leader. He was able to unite many of the nomadic tribes of the region under his rule, which laid the foundation for the Mongol Empire. In his early years, Temujin had to prove his leadership skills. He had to fight against rival tribes and also had to face political struggles in his own tribe. He was able to establish himself as a leader by showing his military and diplomatic skills. He also had to marry more than one woman and had many children during that time. Around 1180, Temujin was able to unite the tribes of the Kiad and the Tayashide, which gave him considerable power and prestige in the region. This was an important step in his rise to power, as it allowed him to build a stronger alliance and gain more followers. He also changed his name to Genghis Khan, which means universal ruler. Between 1181 and 1200, Genghis Khan continued to expand his power and territory. He was able to unite many of the nomadic tribes of the region under his rule, creating a powerful military force. He also began to build a centralized government and implemented laws and policies to govern his growing empire. During this time, Genghis Khan also introduced new military tactics and weapons, such as the use of cavalry and siege engines, which made his army more effective in battle. He also implemented a system of communication and transportation, which allowed him to move his army quickly and efficiently. By 1200, Genghis Khan had become one of the most powerful rulers in the world, and his empire covered a vast area, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. His military campaigns and conquests had a significant impact on the history and development of the regions under his rule. In 1201, Genghis Khan began a campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire, which was one of the most powerful states in Central Asia at the time. The campaign was successful, and the empire was defeated and its cities were captured. This was a significant victory for Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire, as it expanded their territory to include Central Asia and Persia, and opened up new trade routes. In 1204, Genghis Khan turned his attention to the Western Shah, a state in northwest China. After a successful campaign, the Western Shah was defeated and became a vassal state of the Mongol Empire. In 1206, Genghis Khan officially declared the Mongol Empire, and himself as the Great Khan, or supreme ruler. He also developed a new legal code known as the Yasa, which established a centralized government and legal system for the empire. He also began to organize his empire into provinces, or ulas, each governed by an appointed official, known as a noyan. During this period, Genghis Khan continued to implement his military tactics and strategies, making his army one of the most formidable in the world. His empire became a major power and had a significant influence on the history and development of the regions under his rule. Between 1207 and 1227, Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire continued to expand through military campaigns and conquests. In 1207, Genghis Khan launched a campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire, a state in Central Asia that had previously rebelled against Mongol rule. The campaign was successful, and the empire was defeated, with its cities being captured and its population being massacred. This campaign further expanded the Mongol Empire's territory to include Central Asia and Persia. In 1211, Genghis Khan began a campaign against the Jin dynasty of China. The campaign was successful, and the Mongols were able to capture many of the Jin cities, including their capital, Zhongdu, modern-day Beijing. This campaign expanded the Mongol Empire's territory to include northern China. In 1215, Genghis Khan began a campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire again, this time focusing on the empire's western territories, which included parts of modern-day Russia, Ukraine, and Hungary. The campaign was successful, and the empire was defeated, with its cities being captured and its population being massacred. By 1227, Genghis Khan had died, and his empire had expanded to cover much of Asia, including parts of China, Central Asia, Iran, India, and Eastern Europe. The empire was divided among his sons, who continued to expand the empire and solidify Mongol rule in the conquered territories. The military campaigns led by Genghis Khan and the Mongol Empire had a significant impact on the history and development of the regions under their rule, and were known for their ferocity and brutality. The exact cause and circumstances of Genghis Khan's death are not known, as there are several different accounts and theories. According to one theory, he died of injuries sustained in battle, while another theory suggests that he died of natural causes. The most widely accepted theory is that he died from injuries sustained in battle during a campaign against the Khwarezmian Empire in 1227. It is said that Genghis Khan was buried in a secret location in the Khenchi Mountains in Mongolia, in order to keep his burial place a secret and to protect it from looters. The location of his tomb remains unknown, and many attempts to find it have been unsuccessful. Genghis Khan's legacy is one of power and strength. He was a brilliant military strategist and a masterful diplomat. He was also a fair and just ruler, and his laws and code of conduct were respected by his people. Genghis Khan's influence is still felt today. His name is synonymous with power and strength, and his legacy of religious tolerance and fairness lives on. He is remembered as one of the greatest rulers in history. And that is everything you need to know about Genghis Khan. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.